Good afternoon and welcome. I'd like to start off by thanking Zach Tominelli and VPIRG for co-hosting this event with me. And thank you all for joining us today, the first day of International Data Privacy Week. I'm really excited to celebrate strong privacy protections for Vermonters, for Americans, and in the interest of preserving our humanity on a global scale. We're here today because the digital landscape we inhabit has brought incredible conveniences, but has also created a system where our personal information is being exploited for profit, often without our knowledge or consent. Every day, Vermonters are facing real-world consequences from opaque data practices and algorithmic collusion. This isn't just an abstract tech issue. It's an economic justice issue. It's about the impact on people's ability to afford rent, secure a job, and put food on the table. Data privacy is a kitchen table issue, and it demands our urgent attention. It is critical that we address the immediate concerns of everyday Vermonters when it comes to how their data is being collected, used, and sold. As a result, I will be introducing several key privacy bills this week. Today, we'll outline 4 key pillars that must be central to any effective data privacy legislation. First, data minimization. Companies should only collect the data they absolutely need to provide their services, not everything under the sun. Second, we need to fix the broken online advertising system so that small businesses can compete and thrive without being forced to participate in a system that rewards the exploitation of personal data. Third, we must protect people's sensitive information. By that I mean things like our DNA, fingerprints, social security numbers, location, and the data of children. We must also ban the sale of sensitive data. Hard to stop. Finally, none of these provisions will matter without strong enforcement mechanisms to hold companies accountable. I'm honored to be joined today by 4 incredible speakers who will delve deeper into these critical areas. They will share their experiences and insights, painting a clearer picture of the challenges we face and the solutions we must pursue. Jason is going to introduce data minimization, privacy by design software, and is representing Front Porch Forum.
Thank you. My name is Jason Van Drysch. I'm the Chief of Staff at Front Porch Forum. We're a family-owned business that employs 30 Vermonters to deliver our core service, a town-by-town network of thoughtfully moderated online forums that serve as essential civic infrastructure for Vermont communities. You've probably heard from opponents of privacy that the internet can't function unless companies are allowed to collect whatever data they want about their users and do whatever they want with it. I'm here to tell you firsthand that that isn't true. Front Porch Forum wouldn't exist without the internet. Our main source of revenue is online ads from local businesses. But because our business model is built on relationships and trust, not on surveillance, we don't actually need to collect that much data from our members in order to make our model work. We believe in this thing called data minimization, the idea that companies should only collect information from their customers that they need in order to deliver the service that their customers are expecting to get, and then do nothing else with that data. So all we ask of our members is what we need to sign them up for the right forum and deliver their daily digest of postings from neighbors, their name, their physical address, and their email address. That's it. Like many long-standing, reputable Vermont businesses, our business model works because it's built on respect for the people we serve. Our 240,000 Vermont members click the ads in their forum at high rates because they trust that Front Porch Forum delivers reliable, honest content, including ads. That's way more effective than creepy targeting. So our experience has been that data minimization is not only workable, it's a good thing. Customers, that is, people, appreciate being treated with respect. Surveillance, on the other hand, damages trust and pushes people away. You do better by treating people with respect than by spying on them. And that's why Front Porch Forum supports a Vermont privacy law.
Next, we'll hear from Scott Greaves about online advertising and how it undercuts small businesses that it claims to help. Yes.
Morning, my name is Scott Graves, and I am currently a resident of Rutland, Vermont. Prior to moving my family to Vermont, we owned and operated a music merchandising company known as Smash Music. We provided large quantities of student band and orchestral instruments for rent to own in school districts, primarily in the states of New Hampshire and Massachusetts. Additionally, we operated a retail presence in Derry, New Hampshire, and a comprehensive music education program. Our business depended heavily on maintaining financial and personal records of thousands of households, making recurring payments to us for renting instruments and paying tuition. We sold retail a variety of instruments and accessories, new and used, in the digital and brick and mortar markets. It was and is standard practice in our industry to dedicate sufficient resources to properly securing client information. This includes consistent internal processes in the collection and maintenance of personal financial information, investment in cybersecurity measures, maintaining third-party systems to secure information, and redundancy to ensure smooth financial management at all times. Small, independent, or family-operated businesses like ours are incentivized to spend time and treasure on the protection of client information. Businesses tend to take better care when they must interact with their customers in real life, in real time, day in and day out. Given current law governing the protection of credit card information, we were further incentivized to do so under penalty of law. Like so many small businesses in Vermont, our business depended heavily on digital marketing without large resources for strategic ad tech. Responsible behavior was rewarded with parent and teacher recommendations in both the digital and personal space. We wouldn't have considered selling our clients' information to any third parties because that is a breach of trust. The argument against enacting data privacy legislation in Vermont because it would create a detrimental environment for our small business community is misleading. To borrow from our Vermont agricultural past, this plow doesn't scour. Vermont businesses come in contact with their customers daily. They are, in most cases, our neighbors. Mismanagement of customer information results in swift retribution. This is to say, small businesses have been responsibly managing people's information for some time out of both incentive and respect for our customer neighbors. Let me be specific. If I took the names and emails of 10,000 of my rental clients and, unbeknownst to them, sold their contact information to a large online retailer for marketing purposes, I would find myself out of business. Without further future legislation, our current environment lends advantage to our larger competitors while seeding mistrust overall between customers and retail. And let me tell you what small, independent retail and competition has actually become. During our tenure in business, our largest competitor, owned by one of the largest private equity firms in the United States, would regularly use a variety of tactics, all currently legal, in our regional marketplace. These tactics included geofencing, targeted advertising at point of sale, creating false narratives through social media posts, misleading pricing, and most notably in our case, concentrating hundreds of false reviews during our holiday season. The combination of a lack of recourse and being overwhelmed by seemingly endless competitor resources made our 5 years in business at times a disempowering experience. Small business needs the support of laws that work to create a more beneficial, transparent, and fair landscape. We should consider what kind of business landscape to maintain, starting with our own great state of Vermont. I'm a small business owner, and I support a privacy law.
Next, Laura will talk about to the dangers of not protecting sensitive data such as that of our children.
Is it safe? Does it work? Is it legal? My name is Laura Derendinger. My children are ages 15, 13, 11, and 9. And I'm here to tell you today that there is no school in Vermont where I can send my children without them being forced into a situation where their private and sensitive information is up for sale for anybody who wants to buy it. When we put products in front of children, we can all agree usually to vet the product, formally or informally, with 3 basic questions. Is it safe? Does it work? And is it legal? When we understand how online products are used in schools, the answer to all 3 of these products is a resounding no. Today, I share with you my concerns about the misuse of data and my high concern about student data privacy. We all know from multiple sources that the online products that are sold to schools harvest, store, and then sell extremely sensitive data about our children. The following is a not exhaustive list of types of data that are collected and generated into identifiable profiles that follow children from cradle to career and throughout their life. Children's location, mental health record, zip code, family income, parent health, behavioral data from school and discipline records, grades, homework, essays, suspension records. We are told these online products that schools use are mere digital filing cabinets to more effectively and efficiently store and manage information. This is not true. Any of the sensitive data is available for anyone who wants to buy it. So what's the harm? Aside from the documented chronic stress students feel from constant surveillance, the collection, misuse, and sale of data perpetuates discrimination against the children we are trying most to protect. Should HR firms, universities, lending institutions, insurance companies be allowed to use this private data to make decisions? Right now, we parents have an impossible choice. Enrolling our children in school means we must sacrifice a fundamental right to privacy. We should not have to choose between our right to privacy and our right to an education. We need to ban the sale of sensitive data about our children and our health and our location. People like me shouldn't have to choose between participating in society and putting their privacy at risk. We need a law that gives people real protection and real choices.
And finally, Attorney General Charity Clark is going to talk to enforcement mechanisms.
By statute, my office is the recipient of all the notifications of data breaches that happen and are required to report under the Data Breach Notification Act. It is only the 27th day of this month, and we've already received 30 data breach notifications. In fact, a disturbing number for you, last year in 2024, we received 724 data breaches notifications. That is incredibly disturbing when you know that we don't have a Data Privacy Act that we have been advocating for some time now. I and the lawyers and legal professionals in my office are really the state's consumer experts. We pride ourselves on that, and we have a lot of information to share. Right now, our data is the fuel of the internet economy. And I think a lot of people don't realize that, but data privacy is truly one of the major consumer issues facing our time. I believe that Vermonters' data belongs to them. Our data belongs to us. A strong data privacy law would give the Vermonters the right to know what personal data a company holds, limit the use of that data, require that that data be deleted upon request. And I also believe strongly that if your data privacy is violated and you suffer damages, you should be able to sue the company who violated your data privacy. This is called a private right of action. The ability for you, the consumer, to bring a lawsuit when you are harmed. The Attorney General represents the state and the public interest, but we cannot represent individual people. A strong data privacy bill must include a private right of action to allow those individuals to bring a lawsuit when they suffer actual damages. I want to underscore that the private right of action is already guaranteed to Vermont consumers under the Vermont Consumer Protection Act. I don't think Vermonters want that right taken away from them when they suffer actual damages if their data privacy is violated. Let me put it to you this way. If a child draws a picture and someone steals that picture, prints up greeting cards with the picture on the front, and sells them, the parent could sue for damages. But if someone steals a photograph of that child, or her name, her age, her social security number, her address, her school, and her medical information, it's an entirely different situation. Why is that? Vermont consumers deserve the same protections in data privacy that they do in all the other consumer issues. I, of course, grew up bagging groceries and running the cash register in my father's grocery store in southern Vermont. And I like to joke that I literally grew up in the marketplace. But in today's economic climate, even our small and medium-sized businesses need protections from the huge corporations that control so much of this industry through direct ads and data processing. And they feel especially vulnerable to lawsuits. We get that. That's why, as passed in last year's bill, the private right of action would only have allowed for actual damages. That means harm that you actually suffered. And it would have exempted small businesses. Also, it would have only applied to sensitive data. I am committed to working with consumers, with the administration, the legislature, advocates, and industry to provide a bill that has these meaningful protections in place to protect our data. It is time that Vermont put this law and this fundamental concept of data privacy into effect. Let's protect kids, let's protect consumers and the marketplace. Thank you also to everyone up here for your advocacy. This issue is critical, it's so important. We have this in our office, this peek into what happens when someone's data privacy has been violated and is used by scammers, by people who steal their identity because of our consumer assistance program, and because we are the recipient of notifications under the Data Breach Notification Act. To have you all here standing up really amplifies what we see every day. So thank you very much for being here, and thank you to Monique for organizing this, and along with VPIRG.
Thanks, everybody, for joining. We'll stick around. And for anybody who wants to keep track of upcoming bills, you can go to priestleyvt.com/bills. Thank you.